Once again, the leaderboard is stacked, the drama is real, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Welcome to LIV Golf Miami, where the legends show up and the course shows no mercy. From epic drives to clutch putts, this track is brutally tough, but we're here to cover every single second of it. This is the Club 54 post-round show. Bryson DeChambeau putting on an absolute show, and the show starts now. Welcome to the Club 54 post-round show. I'm your host, Christian Crosby, joined by Matt Vincenzi, Sports Illustrated writer and golf analyst, as well as your LIV golf analyst, Sue-Ann Hang. And what an incredible Super Saturday we just witnessed. We couldn't have asked for a better leaderboard heading into Championship Sunday tomorrow. Matt, welcome to the show. Sue-Ann, how are we feeling as we conclude round two?
Fantastic. I mean, what a golf tournament this is. You have some of the best players in the world, the best players on LIV rising to the top. I think that's what makes Doral, the Blue Monster, such a great course, because the best players seem to rise. So we have, Bryson, Phil, Reed, all these Masters champions. I think 4 of the top 6 of the leaderboard have won the Masters before, so we're going to get a really exciting finish on Sunday. What
excites you most when you look down this leaderboard going into Championship Sunday?
I mean, Bryson being at the top, he hasn't won a LIV event in a long time. I mean, he's won a major since he's won a LIV event, but I think we're seeing the preparation that he's made to get himself in peak form at the right time. So peaking here at Doral and then going into the Masters, where he finished T6 last year after a rough start there his first few tries. I think he's rounding in the form at the perfect time to contend for a green jacket. 12
of our LIV Golf League players are headed to the Masters next week, and we have 4 of them at the top of the leaderboard. Starting the day today, we had 6 of them at the top of the leaderboard. It's
a nice time to peak.
This course is showing its teeth, though. It is not easy out there. Would you say that challenge is actually better for them as they head to Augusta?
Oh, it's absolutely perfect. I mean, if you look what they're doing the week before the Masters, the course might not be exactly the same as Augusta National, and the setup is a bit different, but the fact that they have to grind so hard over every shot, deal with the wind, make bounce backs after bogeys that they're going to have to do next week at a major championship, I think this is probably the best preparation they could have going into a major.
Well, finishing at the top of that leaderboard, captain of Crushers GC, Bryson DeChambeau, put on an absolute show. 5 under finish from this guy, and here are highlights from round 2. Sue-Ann, what do you take us through this?
Well, this is a nice way to start. This is an eagle on his opening hole. Nice little, not really a tap in for a par, but a little kick in. And this for birdie on the 5th. Now, we talk a lot about his long game. We talk about how good he is off the tee. But his short game and his putting is an absolute star, and that's really what you need going into Augusta next week. You need those areas of your game to rise and get those confidence there. This is his 3rd shot on the 7th. Oh.
Look at that. Very close.
What stood out to you today, Matt, with his game?
I mean, think about Bryson going last year into Pinehurst. People said he didn't have the short game in those tough runoff areas around the greens, those tight lies. They said he'd struggle. Guess what? He didn't. And today we're seeing the same thing. These tight lies, he's chipping it close every single time. His short game is so underrated. His putting is so underrated. People think of him as just long hitter, which is great for Doral. But he can do it all.
Yeah, now this was a beautiful show. If you're standing on the 16th tee, you wanted to watch this. Going for the green and 1 on the drivable par 4 16th. Carried the water convincingly into the wind.
Driving 350 tends to help on those type of holes.
Casual.
Absolutely.
Now, birdie putt on the 17th. Like you said, his putting is so underrated. He makes those putts as well when they matter. And it's all about momentum when it comes to this game of golf.
Well, you just spoke about how clutch he is on Championship Sunday, but what is going to be Bryson DeChambeau's biggest challenge? What's going to get in his way? What does he need to really focus on to finish on that podium tomorrow?
Well, we see how quick things can go south on this golf course. DJ has tied for the lead. He goes bogey triple on 17-18, and the hardest hole on the golf course is the 18th hole. So the fact that you could have a lead heading to the back 9 and feel steady and look steady, one bad swing, the whole leaderboard changes. So staying cool, staying calm, staying collected in these difficult holes, difficult stretches is what's going to be the hard part of this. But he's done it before. He's a major champion, so I have no doubts he can stay strong on Sunday.
Yeah, we'll definitely see what happens tomorrow. Sue-Ann, you were also following Sergio Garcia today. Fireballs GC, 3 team wins in a row. hoping to get their fourth. They're still in it to do so.
Oh, they're very much in it. Trust me.
How did Sergio look out there?
Man, he was so solid. And look, he wasn't as solid, and it hasn't been as solid the last couple of days off the tee. I think statistically, it really surprised all of us, both in the booth and on the golf course, because that's the part of the game that we go, I know you can rely on his drive, right? But the fact that he hasn't driven it as well and is contending is, I mean, it just goes to show how good he is with his irons. Now, this is a birdie putt on the third hole.
Look at that.
Just rolling the ball so nicely, creeped it in. I didn't think it was going to get there when I was standing greenside, and it just kept going. The greens are certainly firming up. This is a 10th, his third shot.
Look at that.
That was perfectly judged, man. That green was so firm. We thought it was perfect. Walking up the fairway with him, he thought it was perfect as well, and it just kept going and going and going.
And love to see that Sergio Garcia smile too, by the way.
Oh yeah. Now this is a part of his game that's made the biggest improvement, his putting, and he is looking confident.
Sue, you mentioned his struggles off the tee. What kept him in the golf tournament was in round one, he was first in strokes gained approach. And he was first in strokes gained approach with his long iron. So to be able to hit those long irons close and two putt and move on after a bad tee shot is kind of what kept him in it. And then today he took advantage and made a bunch of putts.
Yeah, he's a stunningly good iron player. It's just, from tee to green, he is so good. With Sergio, it's a matter of putting. If he makes those putts, watch out, he's coming.
Well, we know all four scores count now here at LIV Golf.
Yeah.
What's it going to take for Fireballs GC and Sergio to get that job done? It's not going to be easy. Crushers GC got it done in 2023. Legion 13, who we haven't mentioned, they got it done last year. What's Fireball got to do?
Listen, Fireballs, it's no surprise they have won this many events.
Yeah.
I mean, they have 3 players in the top 4 who are in the top 9 of the individual rankings. That is a strong team with this field. Now, this is a golf course that tomorrow I think we're going to see a lot of fluctuation with that team leaderboard. 4 scores counting. So much can happen. It's really about, as always, as every week, you're as good as your worst score.
Yeah.
And whoever's the weakest link is just going to have to try and minimize the big numbers and keep themselves in it. Help the team. It is tough on this golf course to do that. You got to be really patient. You got to be really disciplined.
Well, Sven, we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But first, Matt, you got to get out of here before you go. You actually were here to write some articles about LIV. You had some time in the TV control room. You got to see the innovation that we're doing here at LIV as far as how many shots we're showing. You can see any shot anytime on our app. I would love to hear from your perspective before you go, what you observed and your biggest takeaway.
Yeah, I thought the control room was incredible. I mean, the fact that they're working on a product that enables fans to feel the emotions the players are feeling while the shot is in the air, rather than reactive after the shot lands, is a huge innovation in my opinion. I love the graphics, I love the leaderboard, and as James Watson told me, they're going to continue to innovate over the next few years because that's what they do. I also met with Joaquin Niemann, who was incredibly impressive, and he had a bad round yesterday, but the fact that he bounced back today and played pretty well, I think his chances of going to Augusta are still really, really strong. And another young player who I spoke to this week, who I'm really impressed with, and we talked about that Fireballs team leaderboard, David Puig. If he bounced back today as well, if he has another good round tomorrow, that could vault the Fireballs to another team victory.
I'm sure when you were in the control room, though, you were thinking, the announcers are pretty average.
They're the best part of LIV.
Matt, you're welcome back anytime. Hope to see you soon.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us. More to come here on the Club 54 post-round show, and there is that beautiful blue monster course. This is our final LIV event before the Masters, making it a key tune-up for Augusta-bound players, and boy, have we seen a show.
Good. I haven't.
Leishman's here. Do you want me to go in?
Early this week, 6 of our biggest LIV Golf players and 6 of the biggest golf creators in the world all decided to team up together for something that we're calling the duels. $250,000 on the line and a whole bunch of madness. Take a look at this.
Bill's gonna go in. Getting ready to compete for $250,000. 9 holes, 2-man scramble, as good as it gets over here.
Their entire career has led up to this exact moment.
6 LIV captains, 6 top two creators here.
That's why I brought them.
Today, we have the duels.
And there's that beautiful blue monster course. Sue-Ann, this course was playing so tough for those guys. Not just today, yesterday, the whole week. Tell me one of the things you noticed out there.
Oh, well, it was windy. But yesterday was the second hardest round in LIV golf history. And by the time the guys played the first 6 holes, it was a shot harder than yesterday. So it just keeps getting harder. And I'll tell you what, it's got some teeth, that's for sure.
And can we assume Championship Sunday will look similar?
Well, it's looking that way. I think, today the hole locations are extremely tough. Really tests, the players' patience and ability and course management. I'm not sure what's going to happen tomorrow, but I think it's going to be all about the hole locations.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk a little bit more about that, but we have a special guest joining us here. And joining us from Ripper GC, Mark Leishman. Welcome to the show once again. You're a great friend here at Club 54 Post Round Show.
Yeah, it's great to be back. Always happy to talk to you guys.
You had a solid round here on the Blue Monster, but it was playing very tough. Can you just talk about what worked well for you today and what adjustments you made coming out of round 1 with the tough conditions?
Yeah, it was brutal out there. I think I hit a couple of pretty ordinary drives early on, and that really sort of got me to focus a bit more. Drove it really well after a couple of bad ones. And like Sue-Ann said, the pins are extremely tough. It was a tough one.
Let's look at your highlights, shall we? Since it was such a great day. Second longest putt in LIV history. How good did that feel?
That was nice after doubling my last hole yesterday and then bogeying my first hole today. So that switched the momentum, and then I hit a good shot into 5 here. Hit a sand wedge from 109 metres, and only had about 3 feet left, so it was a good one.
And this is his second shot on the 10th, the par 5.
Yeah, I hit a 3-wood second shot in 10. It was pretty much maxed out. I think I had 315 or 20 yards. It rolled up just off the back edge of the green to a pretty easy, actually a very makeable chip, which I didn't make, but and then hit it into a perfect spot here on 12, but just caught a bit of grass with between the ball and the wedge and no spin, and unfortunately didn't take advantage of that one. Then a nice bunker shot here on the first. It was after bogeying the 18th. It was good to make a birdie there, and then finish off the day nice with this one on number 2.
You're rolling the putts really nicely. Have you done anything differently coming into this week with the flat stick?
So I don't like changing the grip on my putter very often, and I'd had that grip for about 2 years. It was falling apart, so I changed the grip on Wednesday, and it's felt really good in my hands since.
Good omen.
Mark, I don't know if you can see this, but for reference, this is 84 feet. This is what you accomplished today out there on the course. I don't know if you can see that Mack truck there.
That's a big truck, isn't it?
That's a pretty big truck,
yeah.
Mark. Let's just talk about how that felt again.
Yeah, like I said, it was momentum wasn't really going my way, and then I was just really hoping to 2-putt that, to be honest, and to see it tracking up there and roll in was pretty cool. So, like I say, got the day moving in the right direction, and it was nice to finish it off with a couple of birdies.
I know how much you like playing in the wind, but these winds, I mean, did you have fun at all playing in these conditions?
I actually enjoy playing in really tough wind. Like I said, I grew up in Warrnambool, down on the south coast of Australia, and it's windy in Virginia Beach as well. So I really enjoy it, and I think that makes a big difference when you're doing something that you enjoy. You're generally better at it. So I played well today. Hopefully I've got one more in me tomorrow and can make a run at the lads ahead of me.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how difficult is it in these conditions to keep your focus throughout the day?
I think it's I'll say a 5. It's
of course, you're Leishman. You're pretty chill.
I'll say a 5. I think on easy, I find it harder to keep my focus on easier golf courses, because you get so annoyed when you don't when you make a bogey. Out here, if you make a bogey, yeah, when you make a bogey, it sort of doesn't ruin your day. Some courses we play, it does.
Yeah.
Well, Mark, we know you are so good at bunker shots. Dustin Johnson hit an incredible bunker shot on 15. We would love for you to tell us how hard this is. Examine this shot from Dustin Johnson today.
15. Oh yeah.
Check this out.
Above the flag, down a slope. There's a tier there. It should go left now. Yeah, that's pretty good to have a tap in there. Downwind too, so great shot.
And there it is, that great form.
I just love the way he uses the bounce and slides it right through the sand, gets it up in the air as quickly as possible, lands it so softly. People don't understand how firm the greens are, how quick they are, especially down green, downhill. That is an incredible shot.
Yeah, that would be I'd give that an 8.
There you go.
An 8 on difficulty.
Good job, DJ.
Now, Mark, this course leaves you nothing. It's going to be really tough tomorrow. What's the mindset going into Championship Sunday? What you got for us?
Just got to keep the foot down. I think it's very important for me to drive the ball well. Like I said, I hit a couple of bad drives early today, but fought back with some really good tee shots towards the end there, and putting. I mean, when it's windy, you're probably going to have some, 8 or 10 footers for par at some
84.
point, or 84 foot for birdie. But yeah, I think making those important parts that keep the momentum going is going to be key.
Well, thanks so much for joining us. We hope to see you on the show very, very soon, my friend.
No worries.
You're
Thanks,
regular
guys.
now, so come back anytime.
Sounds good.
Good luck
Thank you.
tomorrow.
See ya. Play well
See ya.
tomorrow.
No worries. Thanks.
All right, more to come here on the Club 54 post-round show. For now, we're going to toss it over to Rachel Drummond. She's on the 18 with Max Rotluff, one of our LIV reserves. Rachel, to you.
So Anne, I'm so grateful actually, because normally I have to do these, but I'm joined by Max Rotluff. You've had 5 tour wins and you're a reserve here at LIV, so thank you so much. We're on the 18th at the Blue Monster, and you're going to have to hit this tee shot for us. And you've said it, we think they've turned the wind up again, haven't they?
Sure.
For sure.
I'm sure when we walked up here it was downwind, now it's straight into
It's straight into
right
wind.
of the left.
Good luck, Max. So first up, we're going to look at some shots of the drone of the 18th here at the Blue Monster, one of the most iconic and challenging holes, 467 yards. Max, what are you seeing here from the tee shot?
It's a really, really narrow fairway,
Yeah.
especially into the wind like this. Yeah, let me get my yardage book out. I want to say it's right around, from this spot, 254, so what is that, roughly 280 yards to cover the water on the left.
Yeah, and into wind, what do you think that's playing today? So 280 actual, but what do you think it's playing with the wind?
Probably close to 310.
310, just a casual 310.
Based off my range warm-ups.
And let's have a little look at some shots. So this was a shot yesterday from Charles. I mean, he hit a great draw. It looked amazing, normally into that prevailing wind, but it just caught the edge. And then let's have another look at, I believe it's GMAC, who, this is very easy tapping, isn't it? Bail out to the right.
Oh yeah, I mean, we're looking, with strong winds in off the left, we're looking at probably an area of, I don't know, maybe 17 yards wide of a fairway, and then obviously you'd rather hit it into the rough in the palm trees on the right than be dropping here.
And then one of the best drivers of the golf ball at the present moment, Bryson DeChambeau, who hit this absolute rocket. What do you love about his game?
I mean, it's impressive just watching him, bring that power onto the golf course. Everything he's done over the years, exploring and, really changing how we think about the game. So it's cool to watch.
Max, it's over to us now. Well,
All right.
Okay, so we're on the tee. Let's go step by step. So you're walking up to the tee with your caddy. What sort of information do you need from the course book to start with?
Yeah, so obviously we're looking at, we're coming on the tee box, get a general feel for it. Wind into off the left. We're confirming that with the compass, and then we essentially realize, oh man, this water is a long ways to cover. Probably not going to happen, especially right now.
Yep. Actually, talk about what we saw with DJ just a minute ago.
Yeah, I mean, obviously been playing great golf this week so far, and one of the best ball strikers out here just hit it short left into the water. So it can happen very easily. He was not the first one. He won't be the last one. This is a really, really tough golf shot to hit, and you just got to step up and do it. And yeah, I would say, I mean, we talked about this for the last 30 minutes now probably, and you know, we talked about all the things not to do. If you're coming up here with your caddy, you won't be talking about, you know, the things that you don't want to be doing. You come up here, you know, you keep it very matter of fact. This is what the wind is going on. This is your target. For me right now, this is going to be the right edge of this through bunker, kind of right.
Let's see one. So right edge of the through bunker.
Yeah.
So are you actually starting it in the trouble? Because as a coach, we always say try not to do that, but you have to with the wind, don't you?
Yeah, I'm looking at the edge of the fairway,
Yeah.
and just let it fall just a friction right. That's the plan.
And in terms of shot shape, Max, do you like shaping it into the wind, or do you like letting it ride on the wind?
You know, especially on a shot like this where it's such a hard tee shot to hit, I like to go with the you know, the trusted shot, which for me is just letting it fall just a friction right, and especially with kind of a little bit of a bailout to the right. You know, if I tend to keep it open just a little bit more, then we should be dry at least.
Right, Max, take the stage.
Let's do it.
You've been thinking over this for 30 minutes. Oh, Max.
Oh, be good.
Everyone at home, it doesn't get any better than that. Now
All right, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, you're
no
done.
more.
Now, we had a laugh and joke about it, but if you've got, you know, 3 shots to play with walking onto 18, how do you think the strategy is going to change tomorrow?
Again, I don't think the strategy is really going to change at all, because it doesn't, you know, even a 7-iron it doesn't get any wider. So really the widest part is, you know, trying to get it as far out there as possible. I mean, especially if you're in the lead, you've proven yourself to be playing great golf out here. I mean, every single hole out here is a true test of golf right now, especially in these windy conditions. So, yeah, you step up here, you try and make the best swing you can in the moment, and hopefully you hit a shot like this.
Yeah, just like that. Okay, so stand up, trust your start line, and just commit to it. That's the key.
Exactly.
Now, we've seen a playoff last year between Burmester and Garcia. I can't wait to see what fireworks we're going to have tomorrow. Max, congratulations. You can go relax. Thank you, Max.
Thank you.
Hey, big thanks, Rachel. Big thanks, Max. That was amazing. I'm over here writing notes, just trying to learn as much as I can. Joining us is Dom Boulay. Dom, you got to follow some of the big dogs today. Bryson DeChambeau, I'm correct? Am I right?
Yeah, he was one of them.
Right.
Yeah.
You got a big smile
2
on
other
your
big
face,
dogs
Dom.
too. Dustin Johnson and Patrick Reed. It was a feast out there today. It was great. I mean, this place is a beast. They call it the Blue Monster for a reason. And, you know, I talked to Bryson after his round. You know, I said, how good is a 70 around here? He said 70 is a really good score in these conditions. You know, and these guys, you don't say a 70 is a great round ordinarily, but that was a great round.
Well, if you're wondering how hard it was out there, Christian, there were only 9 players that shot under par today. With this field, that is how tough that golf course was today.
What about Dustin Johnson today, Dom? What happened there?
You know what? He was playing great, Dustin. You know, driving the ball nicely and, you know, just hitting good iron shots, recovering when he needed to. But he made a triple on the last hole. I mean, that last hole is maybe the hardest hole in the game that they play. And it was just the wrong time to hit a bad tee shot. He smothered it, went in the water, and because it went so early in the penalty area, he had to drop miles back, still had to lay up. Didn't lay up great because he was in the semi-rough, then hit a flyer over the green and didn't get up and down. It's amazing how quickly a good score can be ruined on that hole, you know, one bad shot.
Yeah, we're going to talk more about your day, Dom, but Phil Mickelson is live currently on the podium. We're going to toss it over to the presser now.
Yes, we love it. Yes. Huge crowd, and we looked back, and we're looking at Bryson's crowd, and that thing was massive coming up the 12th fairway. And it's great to see the turnout here on the weekend in Miami for this LIV Golf event. It's really been fun, and you hear the concert going on. There's a bunch of people over there still enjoying their day. So it's great. It's great.
Phil, last one from Small. Yeah. Hey, Phil. You know, I was watching you play, and you're driving it great. It seems like everything is sort of firing on all cylinders. It almost seems like you have like a quiet confidence in your game right now. Is that something you feel, or is that something that just kind of comes with, you know, a solid play?
Yeah, so it's a confidence, right? That I'm hitting the shots, but it's also the ability to kind of control your mind and control your thoughts and not jump ahead and not think about the, you know, a couple of shots in advance, but to be really like, what is the best shot I can hit here? Where's the best place I can put it? What's the best option? What's the best club selection for me to make a par, for me to hit the best shot? And so I've been able to think much better. I've been able to process things much better, stay present much better, not force it, you know, much better than I have in the past. And you know, this is how you deal with adversity, how you deal with bad shots, how you deal with mistakes or unlucky breaks, and how you come back from that, how you fight through it. Like, that's how you win majors, and this is a great test for next week.
Yeah, can you show me how to do that? That's like every golfer's problem. So.
Yeah, I just did.
Thank you so much, Phil.
Always love hearing from Phil Mickelson, and here is a post. Phil is grinding. Haven't seen him putt this well in a while. Let's go. It does seem like Phil is getting his swag back. He's turning back that clock, baby. I love to see it, too. Playing in great form, getting ready for the Masters. Dom, I see you laughing at my slang, but I'm not wrong. I
tell you what, it is so great to see Phil playing some vintage golf again. I mean, the fact that he's driving the ball so much better. It wasn't his best driving day today, though, but he is driving the ball better, and he's in a different state of mind, as you heard in that presser there. And, you know, I said at the top of the show, Brendan Steele, I spoke to him in Singapore, and he said, you know what, Phil is no longer trying to play perfect golf. He's just trying to play golf. And Dom, you and I both know that golf is not a game of perfect, and the minute you try and make it perfect, that's when it comes and bite you.
Absolutely. You know, the world of golf is in a better place when Phil Mickelson is playing well. And he's played well all year. He's only played 3 events because he didn't play in Riyadh, but he scored points in every other event.
Wow. All right, well, we're going to talk a little bit more about the group that you follow, Dom. For now, stick around here at the Club 54 post-round show. More to come. And there's that beautiful Blue Monster course there. All right, Live to Win is an all-access feature that gives fans an inside look at the life of Live players and teams. Let's take a look.
This will never happen. They won't get the players.
You're wrecking the game. People said nobody's going to show up. All right.
All these guys are done. They're not competitors anymore.
We don't care. Don't ever tell me that I don't care about golf.
I want you to look out the windshield and not the rearview mirror. If people said bad things about you, I'm sorry. You're big boys. Get through it. Get over it.
I've had my phone ringing from multiple players on the PGA Tour.
Is that right? Anyone you can tell me, or you don't feel at liberty?
I mean, I don't want you to steal them.
Owning a team is not easy. There is that same sense of accomplishment and doing a good business deal.
From the time I was 12 years old, I wanted to be a professional golfer. But have I earned my spot yet? No.
If you don't win, what's the point?
Winning takes care of everything.
It's like the Kardashians, but better. You know what I'm saying?
Make sure you guys check it out. Monday, April 7th, debuting at 8 p.m. That's Live to Win. You gotta love to see that, right, Sharon?
I am extremely excited to see the behind the scenes of everything that's been going on and to give the fans a closer look into what's going behind the scenes. It's really interesting. It already sounds interesting in that trailer.
I love John Rahm's line. Don't ever tell me I don't care about this game. I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, he's standing on business, too. I love to see that passion behind his voice when he said that. I couldn't agree. Make sure you guys check that out. It debuts April 7th. Last year here in Miami, Dean Burmester secured his first Live win in an epic playoff against Fireball GC's Sergio Garcia. Let's take a look back at that special moment in a segment we call The Backswing.
Knew that putt's a tough putt. It feels like it should break that way, but because of the grain of the grass, the putt actually goes the other way.
The stage is set for Sergio Garcia.
And I looked where he was aiming, I said he's aiming like right edge. And I kind of stood away. I looked at the screen and I couldn't believe he was aiming at right edge.
Outright victory slips through the grasp of Sergio Garcia.
Heard the groan, oh, he'd missed it, and heard my son go, yes, yes, and he was jumping up and down, going crazy on the putting green. I said, you can't do that, we can't wish bad on other people. And he was like, no, Daddy, but you still got a chance. And then that little moment with my son really calmed me down.
Burmester is still in the game.
What's your favorite subject in school?
PE. No, it's not. It is your favorite subject in school is PE? Yeah, grew up in sport, huh? I mean, that's probably the only way I can describe it. My dad played professional cricket, took multiple wickets in the World Cup in Australia, and then took the first ever test wicket for Zimbabwe. Grew up with that, and then my mom is a multiple All-Africa champion as an amateur in golf. She was a top amateur and kind of gave everything up because I was born while she was really young. So, you know, I had to kind of take over the baton, I suppose.
Oh, you're kidding. Oh, yes! Sporting genes of the Burmesters.
Played golf just for fun with the family. It was just kind of a holiday thing that I always did. But funny enough, I was always pretty good at it.
Man, we're trying, brother. We're grinding. Thank you.
Cricket was my sport until I was about 16, 17. 17 was really when I took golf quite seriously. I only took really my first proper lesson when I was about 17.
Hey, Bob, how's it looking? Is it working? Yeah.
But I think I benefited from that. I think, you know, playing multiple team sports throughout school and getting those kind of attributes that have helped me, you know, with speed and strength and things like that up at an early age has helped with my golf.
Dean Burmester, who has been the picture of consistency so far this season.
I was born in Zimbabwe, lived there till I was 14. You know, grew up basically on a farm, had a great upbringing until that point. And then Zimbabwe went through some political unrest. My dad basically described it as 200 guys walking up to the gate with some guns, and yeah, they basically walked up there and said, you've got, you know, 24 hours to pack everything up and leave. We got thrown off our farm, so we left our farm with basically $500, the clothes on our back, and a tank of gas.
Born in Zimbabwe, now a South African national.
He juggled a whole bunch in like a short time span, I think of like 6 weeks, to get us set up in South Africa, which is full credit to him. I don't know how he did it because I'm now older than he was at that time. So, you know, if I think about it like that, it's scary. We moved to a place called Bloemfontein. Moved there when I was 14, and I was fortunate enough to go to a really, really good school. Probably one of the best sports schools in the world, called Grey College. Thank goodness I did, because I thrived in the sports arena, in multiple sports there, and it sharpened my golf. So I always say, if none of that happened and we would never move to South Africa, I don't think I'd be a professional golfer. So blessing in disguise, who knows? I think my parents took the brunt of that, and you know, we were young enough and they made us feel comfortable enough in South Africa. I was just a solid amateur in South Africa. I was #1 in the Free State, so you know, I always played against the best players in South Africa. So that helped sharpen up my game, and then I got my card at 20 years old, my Sunshine Tour card in South Africa, and kind of never looked back. I've held a card wherever I've played since then, and kind of journeyed my way through this crazy game.
Dean Burmester, who has been the picture of consistency so far this season.
2015 Zimbabwe Open, I managed to put my name on that trophy. My mom, I think, is she's like the 10 or 11 time Zimbabwe ladies and club champion there, and you know, course record holder. And then, you know, my board, the Zimbabwe Open board's right next door, so I'm right next to her, which is cool.
Dean Burmester playing some wonderful golf.
21, got through Corn Ferry Tour finals, and then got through, played 10 tournaments, made 9 cuts, and Louis phoned me. So, you know, I was like 30th on the money list, having a pretty good season, and Louis called me and said, listen, I know you're playing well, I don't know how you feel about it, but you know, there's this great opportunity, what do you think? Yeah, I figured, why not? Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? And I was excited to join 3 of my friends and come and play out here, and it's the best decision I could have ever made. I've known Brandon since we were about like that 16, when I started to take golf seriously. I've known Brandon since about then. First time I met Charles was actually my first year as a pro. When I was 20 years old, I played with him in the Joburg Open in the final round, so that was the first time. And then Louis, I've actually known the shortest. So I've known Louis probably about 10 years now, on and off, throughout golf and the golfing world. But we've all hit it off from the beginning, so it's pretty cool.
The Stingers, who are like a family out there, the 4 of them.
It was kind of tricky coming here. The first few events, I was like, holy, the standard is so high. And then Orange County and Orlando, I played really well, finished 3rd.
Dean Burmester, who was 7 under today.
And Burmester gets the podium position.
Kind of just gave me this massive confidence boost that I was right there and I could compete with these guys and do really well.
Well, the goal, I think, is to win, both individually and the team. I think we're ready. Everyone kind of likes the Blue Monster. It's a tough course, man. It just eats away at you. You can't get away with a single shot there. Check my cat, he's smiling at my truck. He hasn't seen my truck before.
It's probably, it's in the name. It's a monster. It's a big golf course. The rough is tricky, Bermuda.
This is the Blue Monster, the big boy golf course.
But, having moved to Florida, that kind of helped me. And then leading up, coming into here, I was actually, I was myself a little bit. I don't know if I can say that.
But the Blue Monster baring its teeth.
We played the team champs here the year before, and it's the first time I played here, and I did not play very well.
In the context of how difficult this golf course is.
I missed a lot of putts, and I was pretty nervous, to be honest. And then the final day, we played the single style match. I think I shot 65 with 1 bogey. And I played really well. It kind of came out of nowhere.
Lovely little thump and check.
And I think that set the tone for the very next year when we came back. The golf course actually suits me because of my distance and the way I can drive it. Yeah, so it all kind of led up to being right here on the 18th green in a special moment.
Now then, Sergio Garcia to win.
It's about here, I'd say, about 5 or 6 feet. And if you stand over it, even if I stand here right now, it still feels like it should break that way. But because of the grain of the grass, the putt actually goes the other way.
Outright victory slips through the grasp of Sergio Garcia. It'll be a playoff with Dean Burmester. A 3rd playoff appearance for Sergio Garcia. Burmester is still in the game.
First playoff hole, Sergio hit him first again, and he hit 1 club more than me.
It's in the middle of the green, but it looks like it could be long.
And he hit it to about here. So he had like a downhill right to left breaker, and then I obviously had a little bit of adrenaline, I think, at that stage.
Well, I think both of them maybe miscalculated the adrenaline.
And it ended up here, kind of right here, but in a sandy kind of lie. I just took a 56, and I said, I just got to pop it just onto the green and kind of run it down the hill, and I chipped it up to like a foot.
On any given Sunday, Arlo, that shouldn't be a problem to get it up and down, but so far this has not been any given Sunday.
I stood to the side and waited to see if Sergio would make it or not. Second playoff hole, obviously, we don't really feel the wind, I think, Sergio and I, as much as it was there. So he came up short in the water.
Oh, it's got to go. It's got to go.
And that changed my line. I had a way more aggressive line coming into the green. Yeah, so I was probably about right here, just inside right. Any coach or putting coach will tell you an inside right putt for a right hand is the perfect putt.
Wife Mel looks on. Dean Burmester has won a battle royale on the Blue Monster.
Crowd, by the time I got here, there was probably a good 30 to 40 South Africans. Yeah, I had to come over and spray them with some champagne and have a great moment, so it was cool. That moment for me, obviously having the team there was super special, and to have kind of the three guys that I've played probably the most golf with to this point, kind of my era, to have them there was super special. But for me, to have my family and my wife, my kids, we packed up everything to move to America, to come and play on the PGA Tour, and then make quite a drastic decision to come to LIV Golf. For that moment to pay off over a 4-footer and knocking it in was priceless. This is the biggest win of my career by far.
An epic playoff between Dean Burmester and Sergio Garcia. No surprise to see those two tied right now at the top of the leaderboard in second. Is it possible we could potentially see them in another playoff tomorrow on Championship Sunday?
It is possible that Dean's a heck of a player. You know what I want to say? His parents, he was saying how great athletes they were. His father was a cricketer and his mother was a great golfer. And it's just, but what they were, great parents, because he's one of the best guys out here.
Yeah. Well, Rachel is actually live. We're going to talk more about it. Rachel is live right now on the driving range. I believe she's by Bryson DeChambeau. Rachel, over to you. What's going on over there?
It's like magic, Christian. I'm on the course, then I'm here. I've never seen anything like it. It's like rockets. He's hovering the driver off the ground. You can see the footwork. It goes kind of left toe is his trigger. Then you can see his weight shifting, but he stays very centered. And Connor, who's one of his main men, just told me they're working on spin axis and start line. If you can get your start line right with the driver, then of course you can pick out good targets. And he's hitting it so good, and he's working with his coach Dana Dahlquist at the moment, and they're discussing how he can fill that draw. And then you see that waggle at impact. You can see he's also working on that release. And I spoke with Suan earlier, and you know that's why he grips it more in the palm, to get that release that we can see, which will free up movement, increase ball speed, and do all the good stuff that he does.
Hey, Rachel, you know, you said he hovers the club off the ground right behind the ball. Some of the greatest drivers in the game, Jack Nicklaus did it, Greg Norman did it, Sam Torrance did it. Why do you think they do that?
Hi Dom, sorry, the line's really staticky, but I heard you say about hovering the driver, so I hope how I'm going to answer this is to that question. So him hovering the driver, it's actually a great tip for everyone at home because it does relax your muscles, relaxes your arms. And at the end of the day, if you want to increase a lot of ball speed, you need to be relaxed, and we need to get those, you know, limbs working. He has the top of his arm that he has fixed internally to his side, and then he externally rotates his left forearm, and then he turns and turns, and I can't tell you how good he's hitting it right now. It's ridiculous.
Rachel, do you notice, speaking of keeping your arms relaxed, especially as someone like Bryson who's trying to get a lot of distance, when he grips the club, is it fairly loose?
Sorry, Suan, that was grip the club?
Yeah, grip the club. Does it look fairly loose when he's gripping the club?
Sorry, I really can't hear you. But if you're saying about the grip, you know, when he looks down, normally what you'd see is, you know, 2 to 3 knuckles, a stronger grip. But when you look at Bryson, he's literally got, you know, 1 knuckle on the club head. And traditionally, when you've got a weak grip, at the top of the backswing, you expect to see something more like Rahm or Bryson. But, you know, when you're actually stronger, you see something, you know, with a sort of a weak club head at the top of the swing.
Well, Rachel, thank you so much for that insight. Great stuff over there. It's really awesome to see Bryson DeChambeau, after leading the day, heading to the driving range and getting that breakdown from you, Rachel. Thanks for that. We're going to talk a little bit more about Championship Sunday in just a moment. All right, we have a brand new podcast, No Bad Lies by Andrew Santino, which is absolutely phenomenal. You don't want to miss it, and it debuts on April 9th. Take a look.
Hey, you've reached Dustin Johnson. Leave a message because I'm not calling you back.
Hey, it's Bryson. Probably out filming a YouTube video right now.
Hello?
Hey, Cam! It's Andrew Santino.
I have no idea who that is.
Well, I'm a comedian, podcaster, actor, and pretty good golfer.
Okay. What do you want?
Right, yeah, so I'm starting a new golf show called No Bad Lies, where I take pro golfers, celebs, athletes for a one-hole walk and talk, and I give them deliberately bad lies. All the while, they tell me a time where life gave them a bad lie and how they recovered.
I hate to say it, but it's actually a good idea.
Well, no need for the hate. So you think you'll be my first guest? You're my first call. Literally my dream guest for episode 1. Didn't call anybody else.
I guess. But you got to come to me. I'm not coming to you.
Awesome. No, done. I'll go anywhere, wherever you are.
Also, how the hell did you get this number?
I got your number from Mickelson. Yeah, Phil. Yeah, lefty handed it right out. Didn't even hesitate. All right, bye, thanks.
Mickelson.
Nice.
There's a sparkle in your eyes.
No Bad Lies with Andrew Santino debuts April 9th. Be sure to check it out. We had him in our pre-show, and that dude is funny, yo. I got to tell you, he's a good time. Really excited to see that podcast. Now, before we get out of here, we've had some incredible shots this week, especially today. So we have some shots of the day. Dom, Sue-Ann, I would love for you guys to take us through it and break it down like you always do, because you do it so well. Here's Sergio Garcia starting us up with our shots of the day. Dom, what you got for me, baby?
Oh, well, this is his shot on the 3rd for birdie. That didn't go in. Surely that doesn't go. Oh, how did that go in?
I was watching that halfway. I thought it was never going to get to the hole. Now this is Phil. He got plenty of highlights today. This was a birdie putt on the 6th. That putter is hot going into the Masters. That's what we want to see.
Yeah, I love Phil with that. Oh my goodness. What is that?
His 4th shot on the 8th, he hit it into the water on the right, took a drop, and wanted to drop it on the cart path and hit it to about 10 feet.
And made the putt?
And made the putt.
Oh, what a par. And Leishman. Oh, this is the one, the second longest putt in the history of LIV Golf. 84 feet. Wow, that was perfect pace.
I just love the celebration there from him.
He didn't need the pin in there.
We haven't seen Taylor Gooch in a while. This is his 4th shot on the difficult 18th hole. Uh-oh, hello.
Unreal.
Hi. Buckets.
Thomas Peters, the big Belgian. 2nd on the 5th. 5th is one of the easier holes, but today the pin was not easy at all.
Second shot of the 5th, Richard.
That's got to feel good.
And finally, this is G-Mac on the 2nd hole with his 3rd shot from the bunker, just creeping it down the hill. Oh, these guys are making it look easy.
Actually, G-Max hold a few bunker shots this year. He did it in the 5th in Hong Kong. That was a really difficult bunker shot, too.
Unbelievable shots from today. Dom, Sue-Ann, thanks for breaking that down. Dom, I got a question for you. We didn't finish talking about Dustin Johnson. I want to know what you're expecting to see from him tomorrow. Obviously didn't finish the day the way he wanted to, but he's looking good, as you said earlier.
Dustin is looking good. You know, I was talking to his coach, Claude Harmon, at the start of the round on the driving range. You know, when Dustin starts getting deep, you can't see me here, but getting deep on his right hip, he can manage to get his hands a little bit higher. And when he's got longer, he's got more time coming down. He's doing exactly that. He's going to have a good day. He might not win tomorrow. He's starting the day, what, 5 back?
Yeah.
But he'll be there next week.
You also followed Patrick Reed. Did you have any words with him throughout today? He started 2 shots ahead today, 5 under above everyone else.
No, because he started poorly. I didn't want to be anywhere near him. But Patrick's a fighter. Never gave up. He was just grinding the whole way. Made a few birdies coming in. And he's going to be there tomorrow. Patrick Reed will be close tomorrow.
And Sue-Ann, just a little more on Sergio Garcia and what you're expecting to see from him. You had some words with him throughout the day. What are you expecting from him tomorrow?
Well, I certainly hope he's going to have a better driving round tomorrow compared to the last couple of days. I mean, his irons are so good and his putting really well. I think if he hits more fairways, gives himself more opportunities to attack pins and actually have irons to be able to control the spin off the fairway, he's going to have a really, really good chance.
It's been a big week here in Miami, and here is the individual leaderboard as we head into Championship Sunday. Bryson DeChambeau leads the way. He said in the press interview with you, Dom, you asked him if he wanted better conditions for the course. He said, I don't care. I'll take whatever I can get.
That's a good attitude.
Seems like he's super confident about tomorrow. And here's the team leaderboard. Ripper GC and 4 Aces at the top of that. And, of course, Fireballs GC. Still possible to get that 4th team win. 54 post-round show. The Blue Monster delivered once again. Tomorrow, it's all on the line. With the leaderboard this tight, Super Sunday is set to be unforgettable. Will someone rise? Or will the course strike again? We'll be back for every single twist, charge, and every clutch moment. Tune in to Club 54 pre-round show tomorrow. We'll see you there. Peace.